coffee. All right. 1 second. Hello, PlayOcto drivers. It's Alex here. I'm with Justin Cox from Atlas. I'm just going to get set up and then I'll introduce him again. We'll get started. So let people join the group. I got to adjust so I can pay attention if any questions come in over here. But Justin, thank you for being here. Just give me 1 moment. I'm excited to get started talking to you because there's a significant reason I want to get started talking to you because I want to introduce. You're here as a brewer, I believe. Yeah. Is that the right word to use?
Yeah, that works. Craft brewer, we prefer.
Founder and CEO of Atlas Brewworks. I always say brewery. Is that incorrect?
Yeah, we technically, yeah. So the name is Atlas Brewworks. We decided to go with Brewworks rather than just brewing company to try to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Which is good and bad because people get it confused quite a bit.
Okay, so I will make sure, I'm very conscious to put it where it goes. But the reason I wanted to start it and get going right away is because as Justin walked in, and I even did my prep myself, but I got beer, and I want to wheel it in here so we can, I want to hear about this, get started, so we can crack one open. All right, hold on. Don't worry, I'm wasting these beers.
Yeah, there we go. Nice.
All right, so we got our big door here. Now, can you tell me real fast, we'll get to the interview obviously, but this is what the important thing is. I love this can, first of all.
Thanks.
Who designed that? Are you involved in the design of your cans?
I'm not doing the design myself, but we kind of give our art people direction and they kind of run with that.
Okay, so German lager.
Yeah, so Fest beer, it's October now, so Oktoberfest is a traditional German-style lager. This is sort of the Fest beer was invented as a lighter style than an Oktoberfest, so you can drink more of them when you're at the festival. So this is kind of our take on that with a little bit of American hops.
So if I'm like holding a huge, or picturing someone with a big stein, you probably got like this type of beer.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, cool. And then you said something very intriguing about the Ponzi right off the line.
Yeah, that's right. So we were canning this morning. I grabbed a 6-pack on my way out the door, so that's about as fresh as it gets.
I can't wait. Can we open this right
Absolutely.
now? Are you going to drink with me?
Yes,
or
sir.
crack it open? Is that
It'd be rude not to.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, is it something that you're like, oh my god, beer again?
Well, I still love beer.
I hope so, right?
Years.
Excellent. All right, so let's get this going. Cheers.
Man.
Thank you very much, Justin. All right, so. Oh my gosh, wow. All right, interview's over. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. Let me just give some backgrounds. As I explained earlier this morning when I put up the post, Business Week was a big success. Just so many inspirational thanks for doing it, and also questions about how can I do this or that with my business, blah, blah, blah. So the point is that spawned me thinking, gosh, I know a lot of people that are successful just like us that are, this is DC, it's a international city, and the very first person that I reached out to is Justin Cox because
we go way back.
We go back, yeah. We have an interesting history because I was desperate for a job, and Justin was getting started, and I just wanted an excuse to drink beer. I think you saw that, right?
Well, it worked.
It did work because we're still here. So just in our own way, I did a food truck. Justin did beer. We just kind of crossed paths as young entrepreneurs in DC over and over. And so he agreed to sit down with me because I think that his story is exactly the type of thing that I hear from drivers all the time about I'm not on the career path that I, think I want to be on. How can I pivot? How can I adjust what I'm doing to, more reorient myself? And so, okay, anyway, so when I talk to you, I want to hear from you. I want to start there. You went to college and you had government jobs, I believe, and law school. You had a plan?
No.
I
did not. So I graduated from college in Tennessee and chased a girl up here to DC. And had 6 weeks of money in my pocket and just said, I got nothing else to do. Let's go and figure out what DC's all about and see what this girl's doing.
Hell yeah.
And then was able to find a job literally about 2 days before I was about to get back to Tennessee. I had just a little bit of money left, and then was lucky found a job and was able to stick around.
But that was it at CEB, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but the point is that that is, so off. I just happened to get a job at corporate executive board, right?
Well, I was doing temp work first, so that was that first job. I got
see.
a job doing temporary paralegal work, which is brutal and long hours, but it's paid money.
But that's okay. And then law school came because I got to get out of what I'm doing right now, or you thought I want to be a lawyer?
No, I don't think I ever really wanted to be a lawyer, although maybe I fooled myself into that for a little bit. But I think it was just on the path, and especially kind of pressure from home of, go get more schooling, get some sort of professional or higher degree, and so law school sort of fit that bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you lived up to the law degree for a while after that, right?
So I actually never practiced law.
Oh.
So when I graduated, I never took the bar.
Oh.
The job I took with the federal government did not require it. I was more in kind of the real estate finance world.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking, I was like, all right, Mom, I'll do that later. I'll take it later. And of course, later never came.
So it actually is serving my point even more here, because then you were in that for a while too, and now it seems like if you just look at your history, your job history, there's a clear moment in time in Justin's life where he's like, I got to make a huge change, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And when I was working for the government, and it was just, for me personally, it was soul crushing and bureaucratic, and it was just sitting in a cube all day long and dealing with the bureaucracy that is the federal government. It was frustrating on a personal level, and then kind of at the same time, I had been a big beer guy, big beer nerd for quite a long time, making beers in my basement in the backyard, and then those two things kind of came together, and I just had a realization that I didn't want to be working in the government for the rest of my life, and wanted to get into the beer world, and what better way to do it than start your own business.
That must have been terrifying, right?
So I think for my friends and family it was more than me. I was sort of so focused and probably just optimistic beyond reality that it never really got super scary until we actually pulled the trigger and opened the doors.
Right. And but you were instrumental in, because you were, how many breweries were even in DC when you opened up?
So when I first had the concept of opening a brewery, there was zero. So other than there were some brew pubs, which is kind of a minor distinction, but those are restaurants that make their own beer rather than our business is mainly manufacturing and wholesaling beer.
Right.
There was none others around, and it took probably from actual all right, I'm going to do this to actually getting it going, probably 2 years or so of process behind that. And in that time, a couple other guys opened up in there. So we were the fourth brewery to open, of which of the other three, two are still standing.
Okay. Oh, so you made the test of time.
Well, sort of, yeah. Time keeps on going.
Yeah.
Test keeps on going.
That's a good way to say that. But nonetheless, the point is that 2 years to from idea, you're getting paid, right? This is, you already quit your job?
No, so I did most of it while I was still working for the federal government. So I kind of did it as my side hustle, getting it together. And it's just it's a lot of planning, a lot of really it's all about convincing people to give you money, especially in the brewing world. It takes a lot of money. Everything's very expensive. And so just going.
Is it a faux pas to show up with your beer when you go to those places? Hey.
Absolutely not. That was a necessity. In fact, I used to have people come over to the house and come in the basement and try my homebrews off the kegerator before, as step one.
Yeah, I'm surprised to know that it's hard to find people to pitch investing to, right?
Well, it's not hard to find people to pitch.
Oh, right. Okay.
Hard to find people to actually give you the money.
I got it. Yeah. Okay, but I remember that there's. I want to talk about the distinction between brew pubs and brewery, right? That was a big fight that you took up kind of the banner for, right? It's about being able to serve.
So it was, breweries were still legal in DC. There's just none had existed since the 50s. And so the regulations were in place, and but all the people who had ever worked within the government on breweries were all dead at that point. So it was very much a new thing. When us and a couple other breweries were coming online, it took a lot of time to have the government side of things understand what's going on and understand the regulations on the books, and so there's a lot of dragging in that respect. And then I think what you're alluding to is when we first opened, we weren't allowed to sell beer. If you came to the brewery, you couldn't just get a pint of beer. That was illegal. And so we had to get with the council and get a big coalition together and try to get that fight to allow that to happen.
And now it's the thing to do, though, right? Go drink the brewery.
Absolutely. We're we've got our tap room at Atlas, and there's a bunch of distilleries in our neighborhood too, and people make a weekend out of it. They come and they hit all the distilleries and come over and have a beer. And
just went to a going away party at Atlas 2 weeks ago. It was really fun. Okay, so we got kind of the history and how you are involved in it, but that's where your story connects to drivers, right? Is that there's this big pivot. I got to hustle. I have this idea. how much was not wanting to like have a boss part of like this holistic world life that you?
I mean, quite a bit of it, really. I mean, that's sort of the. It wasn't that I wanted to start a brewery necessarily. It's like I wanted to start a business and then trying to figure out which business that I wanted to start.
Right.
But you're absolutely right. One of the allures of starting your own business is being your own boss, which is both a blessing and a curse when it comes down to it. But it's the exact opposite of what I was doing in the federal government, where I had 19,000 bosses, all over the country, to just kind of being the buck stopping with me. But
when you're putting the business together, it's launched. I don't know. You're figuring out the regulations. How do you know what you're doing? I guess did you know what you were doing? Like
no,
because this is a successful company. This is a very successful company.
I think it's I mean, we're just making it up as we go along. I mean, you see what other breweries are doing, and there's just some general business principles to kind of follow. But you've got to kind of find your path and try things. If they don't work, then you try something else, and can't be afraid to try things. And I mean, failing sounds cliche, but failing is an absolutely great thing, because then you learn something from it, and you don't do that again, and you try something new.
And but it's all about taking the risk, right? The jump. You have to believe in yourself.
That's the biggest. The biggest part is, just really making up in my mind that I'm going to do this, and then taking steps to make that happen. And you were saying if I was scared, and I was talking about my personal optimism, but I think my friends and family probably had a different view, and they were like, he's joking, to holy shit, I think he's serious.
Right.
To like, oh my God, he's serious. And then now I think maybe I pulled them back around now. They're like, okay, maybe that was
just
such a
now. Yeah, for a long time. Are you okay? Are you okay? You're okay, right? And then turn the hand turns the other way. And then so the building of the company, though, it must have been very fulfilling to then start to see, right? Is that you hire people that are like, it's not just, you didn't, no offense, but know everything, right? It was the people that you hired, the team that you
No, absolutely not. And I think that's a big part of being successful in business, I think, is knowing your weaknesses and your limitations. And I see that a lot in other businesses, both within the brewery world and beyond, and people who think they know everything, or their ego is super huge, and that's a huge detriment, I think, to any business. And if you can be humble and understand what you don't know, and find people who know things that you don't know and can teach you things, then that's the path.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you said it that way, because I definitely do, when I have talked to drivers about that, it seems overwhelming. How can I know how to run it? Well, I don't know how to program our tablets at all, right? But Abu and his team certainly do, and they're amazing at it, right? And so it's about connecting, finding the right people.
Yeah, and that's when we first started. Like, I mean, I was not actually brewing the beer. We had a couple of my recipes from my homebrew days, but very different process of brewing in the backyard, scaling up to a commercial system. So my original head brewer had commercial experience from working in other breweries, and that was invaluable for taking something out of the 5-gallon bucket in my backyard into our stainless vessels.
Right, and so I think maybe an important takeaway or a misinterpretation or re-clarifying like a worldview is that like even though that most companies have like one name attached to it, that is not like the reality behind it, right? So I'm sort of the face of Octopus. We've got a whole company.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And I just want to encourage drivers to know that too. Like, I mean, when you start your business, or like when you're talking about what am I going to do, I've got this idea or whatever, seek a partner, I think might be one of the first steps, right? So like,
just help in general. Seek help, whether that comes in the form of a partnership or an employee or just a mentor.
Yeah.
Find out where having someone to help check your ideas and help guide you in not necessarily the right direction, but away from bad directions is invaluable.
And so, I mean, to that point, you're such a nice person, Justin.
Well, thank you.
Such a nice guy.
Only on camera.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. What are you like as a boss? Like, how did you do? Like, forming this team, you had to learn maybe how to work with people and delegate out.
And that honestly, that's one of the hardest parts, I think, of owning a business, or probably being a business in general, is the people part of it. I mean, people are obviously the lifeblood of any company, and we just talked about you can't do everything, and finding people to do things that you can't do or you're not good at is super important. And then everyone every person's an individual. They're all motivated by different things, and they respond to different rewards. Some people are, just big paycheck is what gets them, and some people want, recognition for the work they're doing, or some combination thereof, and all kinds of different personalities. And that's one of the hardest parts, is because there's an infinite number of personalities out there, or not infinite, but whatever the population of the world is.
I think
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. So
sure.
It's just figuring out different people and how they fit in, and how you can help them do what they do and feel fulfilled with what they're doing is tough, but it's super important.
And is that something that you're comfortable with now, I guess? Right? Like, how many employees do you have?
We have 11 full-time employees and about 25 part-time.
Because that's, you just said it, right? And I want to talk about it more. Like the balancing of like what you probably care about so much in your mind, the business, right? Versus like, the health, the mental health of your employees, and like their enjoyment of the job to increase the business. It's it's difficult, I guess, right?
It is difficult, and that's, I think, a key. If you can figure that out, or at least sort of figure it out, then you're gonna have be in a much healthier spot than I've worked in some places where it was just some guy coming in and yelling at you and telling you what to do, with either no explanation of why you need to do that, or no acknowledgement of what you have done, and that's a real terrible situation.
Okay, yeah, but then it all comes together, right? You've got the business operating, it is successful, and now you got a fun team in place. Like, what is it like to work in a brewery? Is it like, the steins clashing together all the time, and everyone's singing a jaunty song?
We do. So on Wednesdays we do tasting panels. So we're showing all of our beers. We pick a different beer each week, and we sit down and blind taste the same beer, but from different batches, or some from cans, some from draft, just to make sure our quality controls are doing. But we do those early in the morning. We do it at 8:30 in the morning. So your palate's the most fresh, and you can taste.
That's a good excuse.
But yeah,
I like that.
But yeah, then we get long haul truckers that are delivering grain or cans or whatnot to us, and they come in and they're just like, "Oh, you guys just drink beer all day long. This is great."
Yeah.
And we definitely don't drink beer all day long, but we do get to drink a lot more beer probably than other obviously people in other industries. So it's definitely a business at the end of the day, and we're it's just as tough and as cutthroat as a lot of other industries, but at the end of the day we're making beer and we get to have fun with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you might be having fun all over the city soon, right? I know you already are, but big news on the horizon. This news is already broken, right? So how close are you to opening up?
We're opening a second location over by Nats Park.
Like right there.
Right, yeah, it's 400 feet from the Centerfield Gate on Half Street, and 400 feet on the other side from the Metro. The location's absolutely killer.
Man, this timing could not be better.
I know, and these Nats, man, they're making a run. This is amazing. But yeah, hopefully, our goal is to get that open, have kind of grand opening for the Nats home opener next year, which will be, I think, April the 5th.
That's like soon, right?
It's so soon.
Yeah.
It's 6 months away, but it's so soon.
I learned from the food truck, take whatever amount of time you think it's going to take and double it.
Double it in the cost and triple it.
And triple the cost.
Yeah.
It's not a lie, it's a universal truth that everybody knows, that once you actually start a business, it's just you don't just flip a switch.
Right.
Where did you, okay, first of all, I know that you were in that stadium, at least. That was like sort of an exclusive thing that you had going on for a while, right?
So, well, yeah, we make a beer for the Nats.
Yeah.
We obviously serve lots of other beers, and there's, Budweiser comes and strikes a huge check every year to kind of be the sponsor.
Okay,
We're fighting for our, small amount of handles we have there. But yeah, we've had a relationship with them for a long time. They're a great organization and really support local, both beverage producers and food producers. They're really good about that, where a lot of other ballparks are not. But yeah, we've been working with them since, I guess, 2014 or so.
Yeah. Shout out to the Nats.
Yeah.
Good job. We got a comment also. But you, Chicago coming in. Like that spot, did the Nats help you lock that up? Did they want that?
No, so that was kind of
amazing.
an interesting path too. So I was out at an event. This goes to the importance of networking, but it was out at an event completely separate from Atlas. It was just sort of there was a kitchen incubator around the corner from us, and I was out there hanging out at one of their sort of showcase events, and then met this guy who's a real estate broker, and we just started chatting, and he's an amazing broker, really smart guy, really has an eye for kind of creative structures and knowing what's going on in the development world. And so we had been working together for a little bit, just kind of looking what opportunities were out there. And actually, the developer of the building, JBG, who's a big local developer, kind of approached us with that because they really liked our brand. They wanted something local. They wanted to have this beautiful spot for it. And then and that was 2.5 years ago probably. Wow. These things take quite a long time.
Right. So the timing is so perfect.
Right.
Good job, Nats.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to go. And how do you feel? Like, I mean, are you friends with all the other bars that are going to be around there? How's that relationship? Are they excited that you're coming in?
I think so. Yeah. We talked to the guys who are right around where we are. The next either building or Walters and the guys over at Circa and Mission, and I think they're excited for us to come. I think the concept of rising tide lifts all boats. There's plenty of business to go around down there, and it is a touchy subject though. I mean, we're in a weird spot that we make a product that we sell to other bars and restaurants, but we also are selling it ourselves. So we're very careful that the point of our retail component is to have people come and drink our beer in our environment so they can learn about the beers and learn about the brand, and then hopefully that translates to when they're out at our neighbors next door, then they're going to be drinking an Atlas while they're there enjoying the beautiful food and cocktails or whatnot.
That's a great way to say that. Will you be serving food?
We will be serving food. I can't go into the menu yet, but maybe next week I'll have some news on it.
God, man, I'm so excited. Do you need this back? Do you need this back to get it set up?
Always need this.
Oh, really? Because I've had it for like 3 years. I was kicking myself. I'm like driving in. I'm like, oh my God, I've got 2 Atlas hats and an Atlas t-shirt, and why did I not wear any of that? I know, dude, like idiot. So stupid of me. And then I was going to say, Brett Clark from Walters is going to be one of the guests on this coming up soon too. So make sure that says the wrong
Tell
thing.
them I said hello.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, but and then I want to wrap this up on a positive, like happy sort of experience. I always like to hear about like the first of all, you had one of the best quotes I've ever said or read from a pre-interview, which is success is a multitude of small wins. Justin Cox. I love that answer, and because I asked him what's the best success you've had so far, and it was such a fun memory. At least I think that would be so cool. Can you share what happened, the story of your first?
Yeah, so I'm saying that one of the cool things about the brewing business and just making a physical product is that there's something visceral about you get to hold it in your hand, and that's not obviously not all businesses, and but in our particular one it is. But having I was brewing beer at home in my backyard, as I mentioned, for a decade, before having just friends over and serving at parties and whatnot. But to actually the moment when we actually launched and had a beer that I was able to go and buy one of my beers across a bar from somebody and give a credit card and do the whole transaction, just like I've done thousands of times with other people's beer. That was a really, really cool moment.
That's so good. Yeah. And so I mean the lesson or the takeaway, and you said it yourself, is perseverance, right? It's stick-with-to-itness.
That's it. Yeah. And I think I heard a quote the other day from an economist or somebody that said the number one reason businesses fail is undercapitalization, which I just hit myself in the head. I was like, of course, if you got all the money in the world, you can do whatever you need to. But but it's I think that sort of ties into what I was talking about, just a multiple of small wins, because it's such an incremental thing. It's rare that something happens that there's a huge moment to where everything just takes off after that. And if that does happen, you're not seeing the 10 years of work that went into beforehand.
Right.
So it's just there's lots of little things. We opened up, sold our first beer, and we had our first large account that bought more than a keg. That was a big deal. Our partnership with the Nats was a wonderful thing, and it's just kind of these little steps that sort of build on each other until you end up and hopefully can take it all in and look back and think, wow, we've accomplished a lot over the years, with hopefully many more to come.
Yeah, you absolutely have, and I hope that it's all over the years, because I love this beer. I seriously stock it up all the time.
Excellent taste.
Justin, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. Drivers, I'm going to post a little summary of all this, and we'll post it on our YouTube channel as well. So thank you again, Justin. Drivers, be safe out there. We'll be back tomorrow. We're doing this the rest of the week with a different small business owner. So stay tuned. Drive safe. Take care. Bye.
Cheers.
Thanks.